hope in that statement. And as we wind down, we will wind up and thank our Sergeant-at-Arms staff for being here this morning and standing by and assisting. We have Michael Cavanis, Tequila Cardinal, Tequila, Dwight Green, good morning, and Chris Moore. Thank you all so much. And while we're at it, we're going to recognize our pages and thank them. They've had a pretty interesting week so far, and I think it's going to get even more interesting before they go home. We have Carly Anderson, Senator Berger from Bakerville, Levi Biddle from Burlington, Senator Berger. Good morning, Levi. Leah Chaudry from Raleigh. She's sponsored by Senator Blue for some unknown reason. I guess because her father's not present today, but welcome. He had her standing outside in the heat yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and I asked her if she'd like to come back in, but he showed up before she got back in the building. We have Grace Holland from Mooresville, sponsored by Senator Bodie. Good morning. Aubrey Keller from Shelby, that's a good Brunswick County name. Senator Alexander, good morning. Joy Parrish from Gardner, Senator Blue, good morning. And Anish Vedantham from Charlotte by Senator Hunt. Good morning. How are you? Good to see y'all. And again, I hope you enjoy the week and learn a lot. We'll jump into the agenda now, if we may, please. And we will start with House Bill 199, DMV, proposed legislation, and agency bill. Senator Lazar. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This bill has been heard in Senate Transportation, Judiciary, Finance. Instead of going through all the provisions, I'll stand for any questions that you may have, but I ask for your support.
Members, questions or comments? Anyone in the audience care to speak on House Bill 199? If not, we have a motion for a favorable report on House Bill 199, DMV proposed legislative changes, agency bill from Senator Todd Johnson. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Senator. House Bill 563, hemp-derived consumables, and et cetera. Senator Danny Britt and Senator Lazar. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members. House Bill 563 has gone through the J Committee multiple times, has gone through the Finance Committee. We've worked on this. I think we're on about the 18th version. I know of no opposition as to any of the language in this bill right now. I ask for your support.
No, basically it's a comprehensive bill that handles the regulatory measures for vape and hemp products across the state. Long needed and well overdue. We ask for your support. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Just a moment. From the audience, we have a couple of speakers in the audience who'd like to speak on this bill, I believe. If you'll come forward, be assisted by the Sergeant-at-Arms staff, who will give you a couple of minutes to talk. Senator Mayfield had a question. Okay, I'll go back to her. Do we have them? We have Ms. Chambers and Jay Day, either one? Okay, we got one. I thought you were MIA there for a minute.
I am here and I came from Hillsborough.
Okay, well tell us who you are and take off.
Well, thank you and good morning. My name is Guyon Chambliss, and as you heard, I am here as a concerned citizen to talk about HB 563. By the way, today is Juneteenth, and it's a day set aside to recognize the freedom of all Black enslaved people in the U.S. and to celebrate a community that has been made particularly vulnerable regarding marijuana historically and at present. This irony is not lost on us. I appreciate the work very much that is being done to reduce youth access to hemp-derived THC products. We've seen a lot of harms caused by these products, including the age restriction of 21, marketing and packaging restrictions. but I'd like to get into the weeds of preventing youth use. There are many concerns still in regards to this bill, which could become loopholes. Some of these include retail outlet density, limiting proximity from schools and parks. It is well known that the more frequently youth are exposed to advertising, seeing a number of stores as they come and go to and from school, has a direct impact on lowering perception of harm. It becomes normalized and is correlated with onset of use. Thank you for also including ALE. However, we have to recognize they are tasked to enforce alcohol laws, tobacco laws, lottery and gambling, and now potentially THC. Currently, the revenue from licensing and/or violations are appropriated to ALE, however, only for 1 year to hire an additional 20 staff to cover 100 counties. That is not sustainable. Furthermore, the lack of taxation and appropriation for prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery is a concern. We can look at what has happened at other states such as Maine, Washington, Colorado to see that this will be needed. There should be at least 30% designated to North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services to support the continuum of care. The long list of allowable products is also potential door opening. Lastly, we can take a lesson from where North Carolina stands when it comes to alcohol regulation. We are in that sweet spot of high revenue producing but low public harms. Even with that, we can take a look at my own county, Orange County, to see and understand the costs related to alcohol. I'd like to point out in 2019, a UNC study was done which revealed that the cost of excessive and underage drinking was $111
It's okay.
million. Now times that by 100 counties across.
Thank you.
Will the same be said of marijuana and hemp-derived THC? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Urban Day, care to speak? Urban Day, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Erin Jamison Day, and I am from Wilson County. And I'd planned to yield my time to Guyon, but she sped through her remarks. I'd like to reiterate our concern about the protection of our children, most vulnerable populations, including Black and brown communities, aging population, and those who already have an existing substance use disorder. I would like to reiterate the importance of articulating where sales revenue is placed and appropriated, and the importance of some of that, 30%, a percentage, not a flat dollar amount, going to DHHS, and specifically prevention, treatment, harm reduction, and recovery support services. This bill is being touted as a regulatory bill, which one might assume means protective, and if so, I think there's some protective measures that are not yet included that should be, especially for those vulnerable populations I mentioned earlier. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Senator Mayfield, did you have a question or comment, please?
I did. Thank you,
you.
Mr. Chair. So I know one of the protective measures that is often used in dealing with these products is to require them to be behind the counter, particularly, in terms of particularly young people accessing them. That's not in this bill, and I just wondered if that's been part of the conversation and whether that's still a possibility.
I can't answer that, but we will pursue it. Senator Waddell.
I'll wait until you finish, her answer. What my concern is, I was in finance on yesterday, and there were some conversations from the audience, and I did get some emails concerning the protection when it comes to young people, so that it's not abusive. And I think, like on the cigarette packaging, it talks about it gives preventive measures and cautions. And so I wonder, as a result of that, some of those conversations, and as you move forward, would that be included in this?
Yes, I think that it's already included. We have mirrored, but I'll let the
You did
two
something,
guys- We
okay.
have mirrored the warnings on tobacco to a great degree.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. That part of the disclosure process will be on each packaging, mirroring the tobacco industry.
Further questions or comments?
Up to that.
Keep on.
When it comes to addiction, and the set aside that may be available for young people and just for people in general, because this is something new. Will there be anything in place for those people who may be addicted or may have problems because of usage?
So there is some opioid education piece, language that we are looking at, adding at some point on this to deal with that situation.
Thank you.
Further questions or comments? Thank you, Senator Perry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to address a couple of things on that, and where money goes. One General Assembly can't bind a future General Assembly. So even if we put something in there today, nothing makes the next crop of lawmakers keep that the same way on a spending platform, because we can't. It's not like it's an earmark forever, right? And the new General Assembly could do whatever they wanted with those funds.
Thank you. Further questions or comments? And since I'm the chair, I'm not going to use this for a bully pulpit this morning. But again, and every time, I thank the members of the House that started the ball rolling here and brought this forward. We still have a way to go. And we have some other things along the same line that we need to address and may need to address them very quickly. I'll remind everyone that the federal government may drop the scheduling of cannabis itself to Schedule 3, and we have nothing in place to handle that. I blame some of the people in the audience for that, but that's personal. We better get it under control, and we better get it under control quickly. We're going to be back here doing the same thing in about 90 days. So, enough said, but you can comment
Just
on that.
very quick comment. Someone brought up the school proximity. We didn't include that because a lot of local cities are enacting and using their ordinance powers. Onslow County, City of Jacksonville has done that. They've put spacing in between locations and proximity to schools, so we encourage that. But again, this is a bill that's going to continue to evolve, and we've got a lot of good comprehensive language as a starting point. So thank you.
Further questions or comment? And again, we thank the House for their efforts and for working with us on that. And I'm sure there will be more and more and more in sessions to come. So we have a motion from Senator Todd Johnson for a favorable report on House Bill 563, hemp-derived consumables. All in favor will please say aye. And opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the agenda. Meeting is adjourned.